Well, welcome to Idea to IPO. My name's Rob. I organize Idea to IPO. We've been holding events in Silicon Valley for many, many years. We launched officially on February 1st, 2010. At that time, we had no members and no events on our calendar. At this stage, we have over 700,000 members on all the meetup groups all around the world. We've organized, promoted, and produced over 4,400 events by any standard, by any measure, for the most active, most prolific startup event organization in the history of Silicon Valley, bar none.
4,000.
Yeah, it goes a little slow, but that's okay. We hold venture capital panels, legal workshops, networking events, and more. We hold events every day of the week. Check out our schedule at ideatoipo.com. Our mission is to promote entrepreneurship, support entrepreneurs, build community, and provide value in the Silicon Valley startup ecosystem. To that end, we provide content that is practical, actionable, and relevant, stuff you can actually use to succeed as entrepreneurs. We believe in building community for Silicon Valley is a global aspirational ecosystem that attracts people from all over the world who come here to do great things. Who here is not originally from Silicon Valley or the greater San Francisco Bay Area? Who here was born and raised in Silicon Valley or the greater San Francisco Bay Area? 6. Well, what natives? Whether you were born and raised here or just arrived last night, it's important for us to provide multiple channels for you to meet people, build relationships, and grow your network. With regard to value, it's important that we provide value at each and every one of our events, not just value for your money, which is important because we know many entrepreneurs are struggling financially. So we make sure our events are free or affordable. And if you cannot afford the cover charge for whatever reason, come talk to me and we'll work something out. More importantly, at each and every one of our events, we want to make sure that we provide value for your time, which is your most valuable resource. Anyone here getting any younger?
I am.
Besides this young lady? When you invest your valuable time to come to our events, we want to make sure that you maximize your ROI. We have many partners that help us do what we do: law firms, venture capital firms, angel investor groups, incubators, accelerators, colleges, universities, and lots of other players in the Silicon Valley startup ecosystem. Tonight, we're grateful to Shearman for hosting us at this beautiful venue. Is this a beautiful venue?
Or G.
Come on, is this a beautiful venue? So look at Rachel from Shearman come up and say a few words. So applause.
Thanks, Rob. Good evening. I will try to keep this short. My name is Rachel Kim. I am a senior corporate associate here at Shearman. I focus on capital markets practice and deal a lot with capital raising transactions, including venture capital and emerging growth financings. Firstly, thank you everyone for joining us today. We are delighted to have you all here. This is not our first event with Idea to IPO and Rob, but it is the first since the pandemic, given that in-person meetings dwindled down for obvious reasons. And if any of you have attended any of our past events or have worked with us or have heard of us or even just read our signs on the building driving past El Camino Real, you may remember us as Shearman and Sterling, which is our former name. We recently completed a merger with Allen & Overy, which is a prominent UK-based law firm, and is now one integrated law firm called Allen & Overy, Shearman Sterling. Very intuitive, let's put one and one together, or A&O Shearman for short. We actually just celebrated our first day as A&O Shearman just over a week ago on May 1st. And this is the first in-person event that we're hosting as A&O Shearman in this office, so we're all the more excited to have you all here. To tell you a little bit more about A&O Shearman, we are now the third largest law firm in the world with nearly 4,000 lawyers across 48 offices. In North America alone, we are 650 lawyers and have offices across the West Coast, the East Coast, including Toronto and Texas. In the Bay Area, we have this very office, this very gorgeous office that you're sitting in, and we also have one up in the city in San Francisco. We're thrilled that our existing and future clients will be able to take advantage of the dramatically expanded, integrated legal service offerings of our combined firm, across practice areas, industries, and regions. And one of the key areas that we focus on is in the emerging growth and venture capital space. We represent many startups, emerging growth companies across diverse industries and throughout their life cycle, starting with formation, growth through the various financing activities, and hopefully scale to exit. To name a few, we advised Hidden Layer, a Texas-based cybersecurity company, in their Series Seed and Series A financings, which were co-led by M12, the Microsoft venture arm, and more strategic ventures. We also advised Next Insurance, an insurtech company just a couple blocks down that way, Palo Alto, through multiple stages of financings, including their latest Series G financing. We also represent funds and corporate investors in connection with their investments and managing risks and building good relationships with the companies that they've invested in. We're also active members in the venture ecosystem, and we seek to connect investors and companies so that they are both taking advantage of our shared, so that we can share the benefits of our expanded network. Again, we're so very excited to have everyone here and to learn about all the interesting work that you're doing and to think about ways in which we can be helpful to you. So thank you again, the warmest of welcome to A&O Shearman, and we hope you enjoy the program.
All right, so here's the schedule for the rest of the evening. Our panel will hold a brief but compelling, dynamic, entertaining, scintillating discussion. Right now. And then we'll open it up to our pitch lineup. We have pre-selected startups that will pitch, and they'll get feedback from our panel. We may have time for an open mic. We'll take 1 minute elevator pitches from the audience, anyone who wants to participate. At 8:30 p.m., roughly, we'll end the program. There will be an after party. More on that later. So without further ado, I'm going to get started with the panel discussion. But first, let's find out who's in the room. Who here is an early stage entrepreneur? I have to ask, what's the difference between a pizza and an early stage entrepreneur? Well, a pizza can feed the family of 4. Or just get sad truth. Who here is the head of who here is looking for funding? Nice. So who here is a founder of a venture-backed startup? You. Who here is a founder of a unicorn? Who here is the founder of a potential unicorn? Of confidence, I like that. Who here is an enterprise corporate employee? Who here is a government employee? Who here is, a student or an academic? All right. Who here is a journalist or a media person? All right. Well, thanks for coming. So let's get started. Panel, first, let's do a brief introduction of your background, what you invest in, what size check you write. Richard.
Thank you very much. My name is Richard Alon.
Your hand.
Oops, using a second for right in my right hand. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
This is the emergency.
Emergency mice.
Oh, okay.
You're not mugged up, so.
Thank you very much. And my name is Richard Alon, and I am Senior Advisor Due Diligence for K2X Technology and Life Sciences. We have just recently been rebranded, formerly known as Keto, K-Y-T-O. And I won't bore you with the details for the name change, but suffice to say, all for the right reasons. We are an investment firm focused on investing in early stage companies. Sweet spot is in the seed Series A space. We are building up a large basket of companies. Ultimately, we are preparing for the listing of our company to trade publicly and allow investors of all stripes and colors to have exposure to a large basket of early stage companies by listing on NASDAQ. The company, as I mentioned, is K2X Technology and Life Sciences. And so we look at all technologies in all sectors. And ultimately, it's about who cares, who pays, and the quality of the deal. And we vet out the companies through a very defined due diligence process with a pool of over 100 advisors. So I'll leave it at that.
Evangelos.
Evangelos Simoudis, managing partner of Synapse Partners. It's an early stage firm that invests exclusively in early stage in companies that develop horizontal or vertical AI applications, software only. And in addition, we have a second line of business advising large corporations on the use of AI, both as investors, including investments in some of our startups, as well as advisors to their strategy and their products. Let's see. I'll leave it at that, and then we can continue.
Great.
My name is Shearman. I'm an investor operator. Was an executive at big corporate before starting my own ventures, and was CEO at a tech startup before my own venture. Now I'm also an operating partner at a venture firm and an accelerator called Cattle Connects. And I'm also an LP in various funds, including NA3, which is a South Asian women's network. I personally, because of my background, I was at eBay, and then as a CEO, I was a startup for also a marketplace. I have expertise in that, so I largely look at companies that have marketplace solutions or background. And in terms of the check sizes, it ranges all the way from when I first started investing with just $5,000 to learn how to invest to 25,000 small check sizes. I generally get to only invest in founders who I know deeply, and I believe that they can go somewhere. More on that later. I'm sure Rob will get to it.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks. I'm Jim DeSanto, managing partner in Lotus Ventures. We've been around 10, 12 years. We have an office here in Menlo Park, 3 partners here in Northern California, and 3 new partners down in Los Angeles, where we just opened a venture studio focusing on climate. So we invest in early stage, 30 investments to date, 32 or something. Typical check size is at the low end, 250,000, and at the high end, $1 million. Then we do follow-ons, and so the main focuses right now are climate tech and AI. The AI messes up the environment, and the climate tech cleans up. We're still there, keep investing, rolling the money over and over and over.
Circle.
So that's Hawaii. My name is Charles. I'm a principal investor at Good AI Capital. So at Good AI Capital, we focus on healthcare, automation, and enterprise as verticals. And generally, we look at applied AI companies. So meaning AI beyond just for the sake of AI, but clear applications and specific like functions over verticals. We also have like a high conviction, high concentration strategy. So basically we keep limited portfolio set for our firm, and basically hoping for that to allow us to have more time and engaging partners with our portfolio companies. So that's a quick background to the firm. And for my time at Good AI, I was an engineer at Palantir, where I was a forward-play software engineer for 5 years. So that's a little on my background. Thank you.
Deza.
I am Nathan Mee. I'm a portfolio manager and counsel at Nimble Ventures. We're a venture capital investment vehicle within a family office. We've been investing in early stage and later startups I've been doing it for about 5 years. The firm's been doing it for about 14. We invest cross sectors, but with a sort of a general thesis. I think the best way to describe it is data democratization. We look at places where technology is allowing information to be gathered that couldn't before, or could be gathered in a way that's much cheaper and more accessible, and the businesses that can build from that. We used to do a lot more early stage. We're probably in the sort of mid to later, and check says it's about $1 million to $10 million.
sometimes we have a panel where we have half of panelists are venture capitalists and the other half are angel investors. I'm sure you're the only angel investor tonight.
I feel special.
Well, how do you become a multimillionaire as an angel investor? Start off as a billionaire.
Ask me in 10 years, but maybe I can use the mic.
Anyway, okay.
Oh, he's not really.
I wasn't expecting a response.
Oh, did he want to?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, great. You just
No, so I'm question. So for Alden, you can start. What was your best investment ever? What was your worst investment ever? And what are 3 things you look for in the start before you invest
Yeah.
in a startup?
Yeah, my worst investment is, believe it or not, is this on? Nope.
Should be on.
Hello? It was acting up with Charles as well. Hello. I'm really loud, so you guys can hear my water. I'm right there with the elastis. All right, they're in the back. She can hear my voice. I don't need a mic. All right, okay. There's one. Thank you. Yeah, that works. Not very different from my natural voice, I think. So, what is the question? Yeah, the worst investment. My worst investment actually was a social media company. This is many years ago. It was a friend of mine who started a social media company just when Facebook was just beginning to see success, and who can, compete with Facebook. So bad investment. My best investment thus far, and we'll know how others do, but thus far the horse that is winning is a marketplace platform, which they sell B2B subscriptions for the curated marketplace for video coaching. So that's done very well. You asked another question. What was it?
What are the 3 things that you look for
Yeah.
in a startup?
Yeah.
Great.
First is founder market fit. That's very important. I will not invest in a founder because, I'm an angel. I don't have lots of other people's money to invest. It's my own hard-earned money. So I am a little bit more risk averse. Don't have enough money to do spray and pray. So definitely look at founders who I feel I have confidence in, who know what they're talking about, are subject matter experts. The second thing I would look for is the market they're in. Obviously, it needs to be a big market that can be scalable. There was just one more that had, and the business model, for me, that's very important. I find a lot of founders who are very good at product or they're really competent, but they have not thought through the go-to-market. And so if you haven't thought through the go-to-market and the business model is not appealing to me, then I don't invest.
Well, since you brought that up, so all the other panelists, you invest using other people's money, not your own part of money. So I guess that would mean that maybe you're a little more aggressive. So do you invest in early stage concepts own startups or not at all?
Jump to answer that.
Sure. Anybody?
So, I've been institutional investor for 25 years. And when I first came to invest, I came after exiting the last startup I was CEO of. And I thought that the primary criterion would be the technology of the company that I was investing in. Over the years, I have learned that it's the team, not the founder, the team. And where I look in the team is complementarity of its members. So I don't want everybody to be technologists. I don't want everybody to be go-to-market. I want a good balance. So that's the first thing we look at. On the early stage, the second thing we look at is what is the differentiation in the technology? Okay, we would like to have in the companies that we invest, we would like to see at least a few customers. They don't have to be paying customers at the time that we invest, but they have to be companies that will be willing to pay under specific criteria that we try to identify during the diligence process. And then, if we're lucky, then we see the beginning of a business model. Frankly, I believe that one of the roles of the early stage investor is to help the company finesse its business model, refine it, if you will. And then obviously we do worry about the size of the market. I used to teach a class at a business school, and I kept reminding my students that only about 3 to 5% of startups are venture funded. The rest of them are bootstrapped, or they find some other way to finance their operations. So it's important for entrepreneurs to first not to be discouraged if they do not find a venture investor to back their dreams. But from our perspective, we try to make sure that there is leverage and indeed the model and the product that the company, that the team or the company is bringing us and ask for our investment is scalable and wants to be venture funded.
All right. Anyone else? Jim, you want to chime in?
Always.
Okay.
Okay, which one of these am I chiming about? There are two
We
different.
invest in early stage concept startups.
Do we?
Get to it. Do some people in the audience think you do? That's why they're here. But I keep telling them no. Maybe you can spell that noise from your sure full down. Like go home.
Yeah. Well, not willingly, but yeah, we have invested in some things that ended up being just concepts, right? Of course, recently it was autonomous vehicles. We're still trying to get autonomous vehicles to work on. It's going to be a long time. And so, yeah, we went in, we did some pretty heavy investing in that, a little bit here with our friend Evangelos, and it turned out to be hard. And what I'll say is, you know, for me personally, the number one criteria that I'm looking for is customers, right? It's just that simple, right? I want to see usage, customer draw. I want to see some money changing hands, and not just, you know, user traction with no money. And if that's the case, then the next thing that will be very important is what he just said, the team. You gotta have a good team behind it. Otherwise, there's a high probability you can get a lot of traction when things get going and the company crashes because you have, you know, just incapable people running it. They're just not good. And we've had, you know, our share of that. We want to try to avoid that going forward. So, yeah, I'm very interested in these, you know, these faux markets, so to speak. But you got to be very careful when you're investing in that because we don't know if they're actually going to get monetized. And that just happens here every decade, almost every year. You think back 15 years ago, right? There was this idea of putting video on the websites, right? Website with videos, right? So we're going to have, you know, a TV on the web, which no one could really believe 17 years ago. And then there came YouTube and 257 other startups that got funded to do that. And I only know of one other company that got a liquidity event that was Sony bought for $250 million. I can't remember the name of it. And then, of course, Google bought YouTube, and that was the end of it, right? And no one was paid to see videos. There's a lot of action in Silicon Valley. Yeah, 257 funded video companies, right? When one or two of them got exits and then the rest died. You're seeing that kind of phenomenon right now with large language models. We talk about this all the time. Surely the big players, Microsoft, Meta, Google, whatnot, are going to make a market out of this, and they'll probably do that by leveraging all their other infrastructure and all their other eyeballs and everything else, their enterprise customers and everything else they can do. And then there's 100+ startups funded to huge levels and even more coming. And, you know, what will happen? You're going to see most of them go away. Most of them, actually, almost all of them, will go away or get consolidated, and it would be a pretty sight.
No questions. So anyway, your point was show you the money.
Yeah, I'd like to see a real business.
You hear that? All right. So
Real ROI and real customers paying money.
So what other sectors are hot besides climate tech and AI? Because that's all we hear about. Oh, well, I had to have someone else say something.
Yeah, sure.
But Nathan will say something.
Sure. Yeah, it's not unique. It's a very different venture market than it has been for, you know, start of 2022. Go back at least a decade. And what we're seeing now is if you're not in one of the hypey sectors, AI is certainly one of them, the calculus that investors want to see is really different. Whereas people used to lead with, oh, we've got this big TAM, we've got this exciting product, it's so big, it's going to have network effect. And they'll say, yeah, okay, and are you profitable? And so I think it's important for people to kind of lead with that now. And when we were talking about things that people like to see in early stage investments, one of the things we look for is unit economics, is can you actually make this thing or this service and deliver it and make money on it? You don't have to do it today, but is it reasonably foreseeable that you can do that? Not right. Someone's starting a DoorDash model or an Uber model now where they're like, this thing's going to just burn money for, some unforeseeable amount of time until we'll make it up with scale or new technology will figure out a way. That's just not getting funded now.
All right. Well, this is an election year. There's a lot of geopolitical things happening in the world. Does all this affect your investment outlook, or is it just noise? And do you have prediction anyway about this unit?
I know I just spoke, but I'll jump in on that quickly. I don't think the U.S. presidential election, as much as it could have huge impacts on lots of things, I don't think it impacts the venture investment space that much. We do a little bit of defense tech investing, and unfortunately, it's a great time to be doing that. There's some hot conflicts going on that are eating up a lot of hardware, and there's also an increasing understanding that even between the great powers, the technology that currently exists, and particularly is afloat, is quickly becoming obsolete, and so it's a great time to be in that space.
I'll take that, Menon. Yes, but
One more.
sorry for this distraction. I think one minute. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember when I had said that I'm also an operating partner at an incubator, an accelerator, and a venture fund called Falcon X. They're basically what we are is a platform which is a bridge for. It's a global platform and a bridge for entrepreneurs. It originally started for people in India and the U.S. to market to the respective countries. So Indian entrepreneurs marketing in the U.S. and vice versa. And now, of course, we've grown and we also have Latin America and Korea, and we're going into other markets. So I wanted to just make a comment on that from a I don't know if it's called geopolitical, but generally, we are seeing a lot of demand in India. The India market is very hot. There's so much consumption there, and it's very exciting to see a lot of the Indian entrepreneurs locally. So we do find 50% of our entrepreneurs in the accelerator are from India. So it's very exciting to see the work there. Anyone else?
Well, we're going to wrap that up, that panel discussion, but let's give that for our panel. So now it's time for the main events. It's time for our panel to listen to pitches. So these are elevated pitches, no slides, 2 minutes, followed by 4 minutes of feedback from our panel. We're at a law firm. We like to be in compliance, so none of the presenters will state a dollar amount ask, but they've submitted their executive summaries that may be stated, so our panelists will know what they're working for. This is not a contest. No one's going to get a t-shirt, a hoodie, or a certificate, or a trophy. No offense to pitch contests out there. This is not a pitch contest. So these panelists are serious about looking for startups to invest in. Just look how serious they are. And these are serious entrepreneurs who are looking for funding. No one realistically is going to get funded tonight. Realistically. Right, Jim? No one's going to get funded tonight. However, if you get a request for a second conversation, that will be an outstanding outcome. Our first presenter is Sargon from Papaya. Applause.
Hello. Hi, My name is Shagun. I'm a mechanical engineer and the founder and CEO of Papaya. Papaya is a material science-based company that is focusing on making sustainable and healthy everyday products. Our first product is a unique menstrual pad, and I'll get into that in a minute. But 1 billion women use pads globally. This is 50% of the menstruating population, even in countries where tampons have existed for decades. People spend $70 to $150 annually on pads. And this is a subscription product. And the pads on the market currently are of two types, plastic-based or natural fiber-based. Plastic is really good at absorbing. Natural fiber has a tough time competing in functionality. And so people have a choice, like use a plastic-based pad that does the functional job but is bad for you, health and environmental-wise, or use a natural fiber pad that is not quite as good, but does the health and environmental bucket. And this is a terrible choice. At Papaya, we're fixing this because our pad works on blood coagulation. By doing this, we get away from this battle, and we make a better pad that is antimicrobial, non-toxic, fully compostable, and just better for you. We have launched our pilot batch of 50,000 pads. We are entering a partnership with our main raw material supplier, and this is super exciting. We are also seeing repeat customers, and we're filing a PCT patent this month, and eventually we will get into diapers and adult incontinence. Thank you.
I thought it's very interesting that you're pitching to a panel where there's only one woman. Well, I'll let the gentleman ask the questions. It is
But given our age, we are very educated on the topic.
Anyway, no comment there. Tell us about your team. You didn't say anything about your team, and
Yeah, so we're 6 people. I'm a mechanical engineer. We have a scientist joining our team, and we have the rest of the team is product design and community building and marketing. So we have 6 people, and it's like fragmented jobs. So yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how your product is going to be accessible to your target audience? And that's a really big challenge.
Yeah, so we're looking at 3 go-to-market, so to speak. Our target audience is 25 and older women, big cities, first India, but then we also want to bring it here. But and within this target audience, we want to focus on maternity pads, and we also want to give out samples for free because we see, and this has started working for us. People have started ordering once they actually try it. It's like try to believe it, and then we start getting repeat orders. So that's that. And we're also looking at local distribution setup. So we are live on Amazon India. We have our own web store, and we're figuring out how do we be in person. So that's another one. I guess I merged 2 questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just interested in pricing because this is a high consumption, high volume item, and most people, especially in the India market, it's very price sensitive. So, can you talk to me about that?
Yeah. So, in the premium pad range, we are price competitive. We are just shy of $3, and we are not like with our target audience. We're seeing people buy. That has not been a concern. So, one of the reasons we're also targeting older is college students are broke. And older women care more about their health, are willing to invest. So,
You said you're price competitive in that premium market now. Is that with your current manufacturing scale, and how is that going to change?
yes. So this batch was a small batch, and we had contracted it out to manufacture, but we're bringing manufacturing in-house. This one was with a 50% gross profit margin, but with the manufacturing in-house, we're going to do better than 70%. So it's only going to get better, and with scale, it get better.
But you want to maintain a 70% profit margin, but
Without cost, yeah.
sorry, this.
with our current price, we're going to maintain the current price point. We're going to keep it a premium product because this product is aspirational. We cannot have a low-cost product and then expect it to get taken up. It has to go from a high price point and then eventually make another one that is more accessible to commodity pad users.
Do we have 30 seconds? So why did you think of this idea? Why was this?
Oh, I've been obsessed with menstruation and I wanted a better product for myself. I fell in love with the menstrual cup. I told everyone I knew that you need to try this. It's an insertable product. You look confused. So, but the thing is, I could convert no one. And I've been trying forever. And I realized that people don't want to change habits. So meet people where they're comfortable being met. And 50% of the world anyways uses pads.
Thanks.
All right, next up we have Blake from Pot One. Applause.
Thank you. Hello. My name is Blake. What's that? Oh, that's nice. My name is Blake Turrentine. I'm from Hadwan. Been doing ethical hacking for about 25 years, and been through the whole development life cycle, exploitation, pen testing, red teaming. And for the past 3.5 years, developed a product, saw a hole in the market. Not sure if any of y'all heard about RSA conference this past. Yeah, there's some holes in there, and this is one of the products that is filling a hole. So basically what it is a culmination of open source security and hacker tools and automating them. We have 300 automated right now, and we're wrapping that with AI. And it's more than just large language models. And it's, we looked at the competitors and realized that our price is off. So we need to raise our prices. But we are profitable. And let's see what else. So we just got something new that happened today. We just got Abu Dhabi and Singapore, also a subway station to deploy our gear. It started off with a Raspberry Pi, wanted to get out of that hardware hacking space. And now we have a virtual machine. And then we have deployed with a repeat customer. We have recurring revenue stream for AWS. And then this morning they want the stuff built out in Azure. So about the team, I'm an electrical engineer background, and I always get along with data scientists. We have an AI scientist as well, Oliver, out there in Berkeley. We have other pen testers, and we're working on our marketing avenue. We just launched Hacker Tool Talk. So anyways, that's it.
How many customers do you have? So it's 38 here.
Yep,
So
38 customers.
just got 2 more this morning.
Well, one was actually a lot of work from, so it's a managed service provider that we found business in. And so they have contacts in the UK and in Singapore, Abu Dhabi, like that. And then the subway system.
So it's a channel for you. It can be a channel.
We are.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the average, what's the ASP annual for each one of these customers on average?
Okay, we have been traditionally a service company. And so the rate would be like anywhere between 200 to 400,000 a year in services. And then we've been pushing the product more so. The product is really cheap. To tell you the price here, probably gonna laugh at this, but it's $250 for the VM for one user license. And we're our competitors like 11,000 for 500 IPs, 25,000 for 500 IPs, 40,000.
So you saw on these hardwares, and basically the services that go along with the hardware is where the real money is what I'm hearing.
Well, the services are not that good of a multiple versus a product. And we have gotten out of the hardware. I mean, we still have a Raspberry Pi, but we couldn't put the AI on it. So that's why we have like our cloud AI, and then the VM, actually AI lives on that too. So we have like 32 gig of RAM and 10 CPUs. So we're running CPUs, but we can all over to GPUs.
But so let me understand something here. Sure. You were running a services company, and now you're taking the intelligence of those services engagements and you're putting it into an AI system.
Correct. That's a good summary.
Okay. Why?
Because it's more scalable. It's too hard for pen testers and red teamers to understand all the hacker tools that come out there and all the technologies, and you need to automate it. You're dealing with like 300 tools, for example. We thought we'd reach a crescendo. No, there's thousands of hacker tools, and they're constantly evolving. And it becomes too many reports, 500 reports. So humans can't go through that.
Okay. One more question. So is the CISO your customer?
People are pitching it that way. Okay, we have started grassroots campaigns. So have you ever heard of DEF CON? And Black Hat? Okay, we sell out at DEF CON last year, like within an hour and a half of opening. And then a ton of customers after the show.
Well, is that because of your price? Or if you were selling it, for example, for $10,000 a month, as opposed to $200 box?
Yeah, okay, so other competitors are doing 500 IPs. You know what an IP address is, or a domain name, right? So ours is unlimited scams. And yeah, it is. It's to get it's sort of like what Apple did, was they started giving away computers to schools, and then all those kids grow up and they become adults, and they're accustomed to it, and then look at all the people that have Mac laptops today. Right? So we're hitting the low level in the guys' trenches, but we're also, we got an airport, we got a bank, we got some people in the military, we got Intel.
Okay, thanks.
Have you raised anything yet? What are you looking for?
I'm just started. This is my first pitch for it. So, but we are being approached by merger and acquisition people already.
Oh, wow.
At least 2 so far. Okay, and we're trying the Y Combinator thing, but there is a number I want to get at, and you really don't. I mean, there you go. Thank you.
Right, next up we have Barbara from Stretch Me. Applause.
Hello, I'm Barbara, and I am the CEO of Sree, AI-backed training platform. We finalized our first product November 2023, and since then we acquired 4 customers benefit systems in Holden and 2 in US recently, last month. We have 300 more or less active customers, monthly active customers, with around 135 active subscriptions. But what is Stretch.me? Stretch.me app is yoga stretching app that utilizes computer vision in order to give our users real-time feedback on their posture while they're exercising. Why is it important? Because it makes working out at home much more safer and effective.
I'll ask you a question. Who here doesn't suffer from back pains, neck pains, knee pains?
Good for you. Okay, we have 2. But most of you, unfortunately, do. It's because of our lifestyle. More than 60% of US population suffers from musculoskeletal issues, and only 10% utilizes physical therapy. That is why we started our second use case, and we are working on PhysioStretch, fully dedicated to physical therapy. It's getting now certified as a medical device software because we'll work with insurance companies, private medical clinics, and public healthcare sector. I hope we'll make physiotherapy available to all. Thank you.
How do you differentiate yourself from the competition? This technology that you described, the technology you've described is present in a number of apps and in various other markets, from Israel to India to here.
Yes, it is available. The difference is how the models are optimized, and we are working from the beginning with the professionals. Our team is me, but my business partner is a personal trainer for the last 10 years, and we are working with physiotherapists, especially for the second product. And that's where the optimization, and we have IP on how we implemented the algorithm, and that's something that it is ours, and the effectiveness of our algorithm is very high. But it's also this aspect of having technological people working together with the professionals. Usually, most of those companies that you are mentioning usually are technical companies, technology companies, that are hiring trainers to create content. But who is running the product development? Usually tech people. Here we are team. We work together in order to mimic what is available for people working out at studios with personal trainer or physiotherapist and want to bring to a broader audience.
What is the product? I'm sorry. What is the product? As in, how do you switch on an app and then you work out in front?
You don't need any wearables. You just need your phone or a laptop with the camera. And you place it so that you are visible fully to the camera. And the algorithm are checking or positioning your body parts, and then using the special criteria and our algorithm, they decide if your posture is right during the exercises that you are performing. And if it's not, it guides you what to do in order to correct it.
Right away, real time.
Yeah, real time.
What does the AI product do? Or how's the AI evolved in making a product hurt?
So first thing is positioning. So it's based on the real-time images, and the algorithm need to know where your head, ear, hand is, and that's where AI is involved, and mostly, yeah, because then it's like more simple algorithm that decide like on the criteria.
Who's going to pay for this?
Who's gonna pay for this?
The service, not the investment.
Yeah, so we have two sales channels. One is D2C and one is through benefit systems, because we designed both our products are designed so that they focus on people who spend a lot of time at a computer, meaning usually employees. So we sell it through benefit systems to bigger companies. But we also have like a B2B channel, like straightforward channel. Last year, we did one beta testing with McKinsey, for example. This year, we are doing also implementation for ING Bank in Poland. So we have those kind of free channels.
Is it specifically yoga or just any physiotherapeutic exercise? And the second question is, how do you price it? Where do you find the product?
Yeah. So no, the exercises are yoga, stretching, Pilates, and also the easy physiotherapy exercises. So there's a full range of this different disciplines, and we are targeting both females and males. So it's not only dedicated for women, and that's very important for us because usually stretching kind of is like when you think stretching yoga, it associates women, but we want to make it available to everyone.
Where do you find it?
It's App Store, Google Play Store, and the benefit systems. I know there were more questions, so go on to us, and I will be able to go up.
All right, next up we have Capella and Gecko Materials. Applause.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. My name is Capella Kirst. I'm the founder and CEO of Gecko Materials, the revolutionary bio-inspired dry adhesive company. This is Gecko Materials dry adhesive. So easy it is to fall off under its own weight. Gecko Materials can be reused 120,000 times in any barometric environment. So here on Earth, as well as a nitrogen, hydrogen, or vacuum chamber. Vacuum chamber, yes, even deep space. We're currently on the International Space Station. We help companies save energy, time, and money. Our initial markets are pick-and-place robots, semiconductors, automotive robots, as well as the drones and space customers, public and private, for both of those. Like I mentioned, you can reuse 120,000 times. It's the next industrial revolutionary Velcro. We're on the International Space Station. Honda, Ford, Toyota, GE are some of our customers. We are just initiating conversations with Intel to be on their vendor list. So we just started that process. It's extremely exciting. I would be happy to talk a little bit about revenue. I know we can't name too many numbers, but we have done $727,000 in revenue in 2023. We sold and shipped product every week in 2023. Our manufacturing is done under one roof. I focus my PhD on whole life cycle sustainability, mass production. And so we practice what we preach. We help our customers save energy, time, and money, and we save energy, time, and money in-house. We also are looking to raise, as you've had the details in your paperwork, and I am happy to answer any questions. We're on track for doubling our revenue this coming year.
What's the secret sauce? What's the composition matter? What's it?
Yes.
Why is it sustainable?
Yes, great question. So we mimic the gecko's ability to climb up smooth vertical surfaces. If you took out earphones and did a competitor analysis in gecko, search gecko materials, you'll find us, but you'll find other quote unquote gecko companies. They use microsuction. We truly do mimic the gecko's ability to climb up smooth vertical surfaces. To attach two objects, normally use tape, glue, or suction. Gecko materials is none of these. As you saw, if you have a wine bottle after, I can pick up a whole wine bottle with my pinky. A 1-inch tile can support 15 pounds vertically. This does not use tape, glue, or suction. It is a microstructure. Hairs, that when pull and shear, are extremely strong.
I haven't heard the one word here. What's the IP? Like, it's not in your document. Do you have patents?
Yes, thank you for asking. So we have a threefold patent out of Stanford. So I patented during my PhD, and Gecko Materials holds the exclusive license. The geometry, the mass production methods, as well as the metal molds are all patented. We also hold the exclusive license here on Earth as well as in space. Yes, you heard that right. In space, we're the first ever patent to be exclusively licensed in space.
Who's your PhD advisor at Stanford?
Mark Krakowski.
And when did you license this from you? Did you invent it at the university and license it from Stanford?
Yes.
When was that?
I spun out my PhD. We did a PCT in 2020, December 2020.
Okay.
Came full patent 2021, and then licensed it as soon as I started the company in 2021.
Who manufactures this for you?
We manufacture under one roof because I studied whole life cycle sustainability, mass production, manufacturing. I'm a very technical founder.
Where'd you get all the equipment? Did you raise some money for that?
We raised a pre-seed. I can't mention how much we raised. I don't think, sorry. But we raised a small pre-seed, and we're pretty bootstrapped. So typically to do one metal mold in a mass production facility, one mold itself is about $1 million. Our molds plus all the equipment that we use and the electricity is under $500K. So again, I really practice what I preach.
How many people on your team?
We have 4 full-time, 10 part-time, and we're going to be 8Xing that with this round. We'd love to talk to after about our current round.
Can you talk a little bit about the use cases that you have for present for like Intel and like a beyond space? Yeah.
Great question. So in the pick and place robots, traditionally use suction, airline, or vacuum dependencies that use large turbo pumps that are put in a back room, go out to the robot, and the robot picks and places using suction. We eliminate that with a total passive system. As you saw, I just had a string attached. And again, you can play with this slide. Happy to show any investors. If we find a wine bottle, we'll do it with a wine bottle because that's always more fun. Makes people a little nervous if I drop it, but never dropped it. So you increase the throughput time, so you decrease the time that you have to suck, as well as the force concentrations and all the electricity cost.
I'm sorry, the existing customers that you had?
Or Toyota G.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. Have they used? Yeah, I understand. Next time, make it more convenient. Have they used any of your competitors' methods and came to you, or do they just buy into your methods?
They have tried, so it is an educational piece because all of the other competitors on the market use microsuction. They use the octopus. The octopus uses suction. You can't use it in space. You can't use it in a vacuum chamber. So for semiconductors and space, you can't use them. So we've educated our customers on that, and that's why we're on the International Space Station. We work with Honda, Ford, Toyota, Air Force, Space Force. We've done 2 Air Force and Space Force contracts. We're at the middle of our 3rd, and we're currently writing our 4th contract that will be submitted at the end of the month for the Space Force in ISAM and OSAM, in space servicing, assembling, and manufacturing.
Wow.
Thank you so much for having me.
Next up, we have Dulab from Skybot. Applause.
Thanks, Robin. Thanks, idea to idea. Hi, I'm Dovat, CEO of startup company Skyboard. We have developed advanced concrete 3D printer, which is going to print housing in record time. House in record time. During 3 days, it's at 72 hours. It's going to print house. So this is an example of how printer going to work. And this is already house. This is generation 2 printer. We have built already generation 1 printer, large scale printer, which is currently working. We have 3 customers and we have 3 paying customers and they are growing. We are working hard. We working with hardware, software, and yeah. So what we are looking investors who is going to push us to the next step. Yes. So it's so we are going to solve housing crisis. We are this house is going to withstand hurricanes, earthquake, and it's material efficient. So we are going to save on material, on the labor, and it's gonna print houses quick. So yeah. Thank you.
So does this process use ordinary concrete or is it a special type of material?
Yeah, we have special concrete.
How does that compare in terms of weight to regular concrete?
Can you
Wait, I'm imagining a house printed and made entirely of solid concrete. It's going to be very heavy and there's a lot of material. Is there a process that you're using to make that more materials light?
Yeah, so in process of printing house, so one person going to control printing and it going to put metal sticks where it needs support. So we're gonna follow local regulation. So all regulation according to the rules are required at reinforced. That.
So is the main benefit versus traditional concrete placement technology that you don't have to build forms?
Forward.
Okay. Why is this better than just building concrete house the way these old concrete buildings that?
Yeah, the first you're gonna print house quick. It's gonna significantly reduce cost on material. You like let's say house cost like to build from blocks. Let's say it costs 150,000 to just put walls, and you're gonna spend on labor, you're gonna spend on material, heat, everything supply chain of cement, it automatically. So one person is going to control just how printer gonna work, and it's not like waste of material. It just directly walls, and yeah.
So, as you mentioned in your presentation, there is competition. So where is your innovation?
Where is my innovation?
Yeah.
Yes. So Skybot is basically a robotic company. So we building our unique products, and we have advanced replaceable nozzles. We can adjust the size of printing nozzle, like the size of material, which we're gonna so in Gen 1, we already overcome most of the company, like axometry. So they do not support like large scale printing. So our company, like the Gen 1 printer, it's already like capable of printing large size robotic objects. And we have a replaceable node though, our printer capable of printing with metal, material, composites, and ceramics. So that our product is really unique here. So we are team of three.
How many houses have you built? Or buildings?
No, this is so we are planning to move to real estate because it's if investor will invest money and it's a quick return. So you're gonna just sell houses, bring houses, sell house.
Okay, thank you.
Right, next up, we had Eva from Macromo. Applause.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eva, and I'm a co-founder of Macromo. So let's be truthful to ourselves. We are making really bad health decisions every day. And that is because it's very hard to see how our daily habits affect how we feel tomorrow, in 5 years, in 10 years. And the current healthcare system is not helping us either because it's treating symptoms rather than preventing them. And so at Macromo, we are building an AI health coach in a mobile app that guides you on your health and longevity journey. We launched in Europe and made $400,000 in sales in last 12 months with 3,000 active customers on our platform. So how does it work? You upload your data, which you already have, or in Europe, you can get our at-home tests, which are for DNA, for blood, for gut microbiome. So we are the most extensive at-home testing provider. And then you start getting recommendations and you can track your daily habits and improve. Our business model is based on subscription for $14.99 a month, and with 10,000 subscribers, our projected ARR is 2.2 million. And we are upselling people with at-home tests and other services, increasing our LTV. We are a team of repeat founders and technologists and PhDs, and we raised one of the biggest pre-seed rounds in Central Europe. And yeah, fundraising. Thank you.
What sort of like customer demographic are you looking for to use your products?
Great question, thank you. So our users are already spending about $500 a month for their health. They are using various products. I call them light biohackers. So with us, they can benefit from the integrated approach. You know, Brian Johnson is spending $2 million a year for this, right? So for $14 a month doesn't seem like a bad deal.
What are your data sources for the program? How do you get the biometric data?
From people, you can import your data, which you already had. And for the reference data sets, so the data that we are using to make the calculations, we gathered quite an extensive data set from public sources, from universities, but also from private sources, such as our investors. Our first investor was one of the biggest laboratories in Central Europe, so they provided a lot of data.
For the users, though, is it a wearable? You do blood tests? Is it other body samples?
Yeah, it's wearable data, so you can connect your Apple Watch and you don't need a new fitness tracker. Then DNA data, so we do whole genome sequencing, but also microarrays, so that's 23andMe, Ancestry.com. For blood tests, you can either upload a PDF, or you can take our at-home blood tests, or you can scan pages with your phone. So we use AI to get the data out from scanned documents.
And do you have to redo those every X period of time? Like, do you need to do a blood test once a month? Or?
If depends, right? So our apps recommend you when you should retest. It's usually 3 months to 6 months for blood test. DNA, you of course do once alive.
How many what is the how many months or how many weeks does a customer stay on the app? What's your retention rate?
So right now, hard to say, right? We are not on the market for that long, but we know that 16% of our customers are testing regularly. So I would say that's quite a good stat.
I have a quick question. So 23andMe is doing abysmally bad. Why will you do very well?
So you see, I think that if you just sell tests to people, it's quite a bad business model. And if you sell something you do once a life, right, like DNA test, that's pretty bad. So people don't want at-home testing. They want solution for their health. They want to feel better. And so we are not selling tests and we are not selling an app subscription. We are selling a lifestyle. And that's how we are different. We are guiding them on their whole journey and providing everything they need, not just once a live test.
From like a sales, go-to-market strategy, so you have like file items or well, I guess it's like how big is that like population or like market for users, but then also you consider maybe other channels like healthcare providers and integrating with like getting inspired like for payers and things like that. Yeah.
So yes, right now on Seed, we are focusing on B2C, but we see many potential ways. So one, our corporate wellness program, so B2B UC. And then for B2B, we can provide data analytics, like the bioinformatics for hospitals. We are already doing it. There are 2 hospitals in Europe.
All right, next up we have Flawed from Outside In. Applause.
Hello, judges. Hello, yes, and thank you all for everything. Much appreciated. My name is Fouad Benyu, a founder and CEO of Outside 30, an AI business decision automation platform. So I have a confession to make. I'm sick and tired of poor business decisions. For the last 20 years, I worked for corporations, let's say public and private companies, trying to help them to make better decisions. And I came to the realization that most failures are not because of disruption. It's about Lin Chi. It's in Chinese. And Lin Chi is death by 1,000 cuts. Little decisions lead into their failures. And that was summarized into 3 sections. Disconnect between those decisions and the business environment. Slow decisions, a lot of back and forth, but no decision. And poor decisions made by the highest paid people without the context about their market. So here comes Outside In. Imagine a solution where you give the name of your company, your space, your region, and the solution goes to map your markets, your competitors, your buyers, capture signals about them, generates learnings or outsights about how it would impact your company, and generate decisions for you to act upon. And those decisions are either you accept, you reject, even a hate, you postpone, you trigger a vote with other stakeholders, you question that decision, let's say with the subject matter expert within the platform, or you automate it. In the future, the system will trigger that decision automatically without you having to do it. So one element which is super important is that you can track those decisions over time. Within the system, you don't have to go to different places, email, SharePoint, etc., to find those decisions when you have a change in management. Thank you.
So how do you train your AI?
So training is, we see it as a human machine decision making at first. So the AI is capturing, let's say, is processing the signals captured from outside, let's say open source intelligence, and then building that story, connecting, let's say, the information itself and what it means for the organization. And then when the decisions are made by stakeholders, let's say in yeah, you click on accept, refuse, trigger, vote, or delegate, that reinforced learning over time, the system will bring you the recommendation to say, hey, the last 10 times that this situation happened with a competitor or market situation, this is the decision you made. So do you want to automate it or to build it this way? So it learns from the decision makers, and in the future, it's leveraged to be automated.
And how many of those data points do you think you're going to need before it can develop actionable intelligence on its own?
So for now, we're starting with super important human-machine decision-making. So we're building the first draft for now because it's too early to have enough knowledge or learning for the machine to take that decision itself. So it's working together with humans, and over time, it builds those decisions themselves. But the beginning is a human in the loop. This is super important. We keep them there.
Yeah, what I'm not clear on, who are you selling to? What kind of companies? Who in the company are you selling to? That's question one. And question two is, how is it different from a generic answer perspective that a regular answer engine is able to give you information?
So for the first question, let's call it mid-sized companies, scale-ups. When they have few hundred employees, they don't have the time to go seek that information, but they don't have the resources to have people like me in the organization. Because this is what I did for the last 8 years. So this is mid-sized companies, scale-ups, moving from startup to scale-up. So they are growing, they don't have the resources. We come in, we save them time and money. The second one, the buyer, let's say, consider CPO or CMO. CPO built in, let's say, the product and setting the vision and the roadmap. The signals they can receive is the feature they're working on, maybe the competitor is doing something more differentiated than them. So the decision would be, you're losing the edge on the market, or you will lose market share because they have differentiation. So here's what you need to do about it.
But you need to know a lot of that information which may not be available on the web for you to scrape from.
Yes, in my experience, you have way more than we think available open source from different sources, either competitor websites or web scrappers. So this is what I do for a living. So I learned that, let's say, where to find them, and I'm productizing that.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Next up, we have Bert from Evangelos. Applause.
Infinirel, that stands for infinite reliability. That's a tall order, but if we look at the grid and blackouts and failures, that's what we need to do. Our mission is to prevent blackouts with a technology that is very similar to a heart monitor. We call it the EKG, the energy cardiograph, which is this box, this container. It produces data that allows us to not only predict failures of the hearts of any solar plant, battery plant, electric vehicle, chargers, but also prescribe the fix so the equipment cannot go down. But the big vision is that this case will be eventually shrunk to a chip and be on every single printed circuit board in any power converter so that you can charge your vehicles. Starting with the solar and battery energy plants, we actually have revenue. This box was in the desert making money. The solar industry has lost $2 billion in revenue alone in 2022, and it gets worse as we deploy more electronics, the entire electrification. The solution that we offer is a data play. Reliability as a service, dollars per megawatts per year for 25 years. We've done that before. Our team, my CMO, has actually worked as the director of global services for an inverter manufacturer. That's actually our patient, the inverter electronics. He scaled the company from 20 to 74 countries globally. We'll do this again. I started 14 power management product lines, including a chip That's in 27 years still in production after the company got acquired not once but twice for $21 billion. Let's do that again. Our mission is to avoid blackouts at any cost with the chip on board everything. Questions?
The product is the chip. Is that correct?
Eventually.
All right.
Not today.
Explain exactly what the chip does. Why? Who's the customer? Who's buying it? And why are they buying it?
No, you start with the end, but I address the end. The chip goes on the electronics board. That's the inverter manufacturers.
Okay.
We don't sell the chip. Remember, it's a data service model. It's like the printer and the ink. The chip's actually about free. That's kind of a revolutionizing.
What does the chip do for the inverter?
This is the AI on board the chip. There's a companion chip that actually does the sensing. It's called analog front, and that's what I developed at Texas Instruments. The companion chips will be on the board that create the data and process the data. This today processes 4 times as much data than your 4K video stream in real time. Not a trivial task. So much more effective if we actually have it on chip.
But why is it stopping or preventing blackouts?
If you have a heart failure and you know ahead of time that there's a little vibration in your heart that your EKG tells you, you can intervene. We measure the same voltage and current at very high rates to determine that this inverter, the electronics, is about to fail. And therefore we can intervene. If it's a chip, you can intervene in a microsecond, which is needed to be literally infinitely reliable.
So this is diagnosing and preventing the failure of inverters.
Any power electronics, inverters.
Any power.
Any power electronics.
Data centers. Any power electronics.
Sir, whatever frequency motor drives in industry. Chargers, you want to charge your vehicle, it's a converter, same process.
Okay.
Chandra, what is thank you. What is the data play now? You're saying that we're giving both, because you started with one chip, then you talked about 2 chips. Okay, so whatever. So what's the data play?
In order to make a decision on the health of the electronics, you need to measure. There is no data available, period.
Great.
This box today has the instrumentation inside to measure physically and process it in real time, so you actually have something to work with. We have something to know the physics of failure and point to the pattern, which is using machine learning in the very tail end to say, we'll see this widow, that's the pattern that this component will fail in about a month.
Okay. So again, the data play is the fact that you're going to your customers and you're saying, I'm going to give you the chips for free, right, to put them on your device, but you're going to give me your data.
Oh, I make the data, the chip makes the data.
Yes, but your customer gives you rights to your data. Is that why it's a data play? I'm trying to understand, why is this a data play?
The measurements are the raw data that we process, which produces the outcome, which is the advice we give our customer technically to schedule the maintenance with the right supply chain components. That's the data. The data is the physical measurement.
Got it. So does this mean then that your customer will have no right to take the data that is coming out of these chips and develop the same model or maybe even better models than you can develop?
It's a very good question. In fact, our joint development agreement has stipulated that opportunity. We want to have the best solution, and that's a more cross-licensing opportunity, but there's details. We would love to have anyone use the data and then have license back opportunities.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Next up, we have Mo from Supportfinity. Applause.
Thank you very much. A few years ago, I was a hiring manager at a Dow Jones 30 company, and me and my team was starting always with hiring. I used to juggle between many tools, using Workday, if I can say the name, and my recruiter was always hitting the tools that she used. We have to always end up with a random hire that is always a hit or a miss. And the experience was always daunting for everybody and was a good effort for everyone applying for the jobs for our company. 2 years ago, I started Supportfinity. It is a recruitment automation platform with the power of AI that can cut up to 90% of time cost of any recruitment process. It's a revolutionary process revolutionary platform that we believe we have around it 60,000 users. On the other side, we're building a platform like a social media platform. On the other side, so we're putting companies in front of talent and with companies with sourcing with API profiles. And we also have a feature coming this month, which is grading assessments on any topic with AI. We have 143 companies using us so far, and actually this number increased a lot. Yesterday, we had 600 registrations, so I didn't sleep, and I'm sorry about having this page, the last one. I just did it now. Maybe it's not complete enough. And everything from one place, a revolutionary way. We have current account open, and there are some interesting discussions happening with some notable investors, and I'm happy to talk more about that. Thank you very much. I have 30 seconds more. It is not just a regular SaaS platform. We have a patent, by the way, with the USPTO. We also were regarded by G2 this week, best job board 2024, best salaries benchmark in 2024, and we received an agreement with LinkedIn. So every position, also on Supportfinity, would be pushed to LinkedIn automatically without any limits. So you will never need to go to LinkedIn. It's just one place for you. And I'm going to pitch at Indeed in 20 seconds if you want a bigger demo. My laptop is with me. I'm happy to show you the product. There is a feature that I would love to show it to everybody, which is creating assessments with AI. Thank you very much.
There's just so many recruitments that you gotta talk about.
This comment when I pitch.
Speak to your competition and why you're different.
Yeah, sure. We compete usually with the regular applicant tracking system applications, if you know what's an ATS. But the problem with ATS, all of them, and we know them all, are outdated, and you always need to integrate them with a lot of tools. But if you are using a sourcing tool like Seek Out, for example, if you know what Seek Out, you have to integrate it with your ATS, which could be Greenhouse or Lever or any of these tools. But from Supportfinity, we always do this from one place with the power of AI, and there are a lot of AI use cases inside the platform. And yesterday we had 10 customers signed up. I think the word of mouth started to propagate. So we basically compete with the ATS applications, but it's not the regular ATS. It's huge platform. The go-to-market is also very unique and smart. We do freemium and then reverse trial. So we help companies we want everybody to hire using our technology because we're building on the other side of the community. So you can imagine it's something like LinkedIn, and you can create it, and later on we want that to be a collaborative community for people to connect with each other. But this is something that maybe we can have in the CSB or Sree. And we have two products also that we want to launch maybe at a later stage.
So, sorry, you have 143 customers, right?
Yes, right.
At only 43K ARR.
Yes.
So that's some compute.
Sure, yeah. So the way we did it is that we went to these companies. By the way, they are big names. Some of them are small startups, and some of them are very large enterprises. We went to them, use Supportfinity for free, and once you successfully hire, you pay us a preview, $1,600, and that's how we made money. But we are launching actually fully. I want to follow up on this. We are launching fully this quarter, and why I'm saying fully, because we are going to add the assessments with AI, the sourcing for 1.3 billion profiles, and the subscriptions. We don't have
the $1,600 per year.
Sorry,
you said $1,600 per.
$1,600 per successful hire.
For successful hire.
Yes, that was the model, but now actually by the end of this month, we're going to have the subscription model where we convert from free to premium, which is around $200 of
per life
user. Yeah, Apple.
With what margin?
68% last year, and I think we are better now.
What kind of companies, what tier are they?
The go-to-market now is to start here in the Bay Area. This is an obtainable market opportunity of around $3 billion. We want to start here in the Bay Area. And the companies that we want to target are mainly startups, very cost-sensitive and quality-sensitive as well. They like innovation, and they want to see how AI can work for them. And yeah, I think it's interesting because if you're using your application, I'm sure like you're not happy with it. At least if you're happy to be maximum 80%, but we say, okay, go try this for free. If you like it, you can use it. If not, no problem. And yeah, we replaced 2 large companies actually last week. I don't want to say names, but really large companies. We get this demo with 2 customers.
Can you comment about the quality of the hires, like the retention and the metric you have of the success of the hires?
Well, the success of the hire is not a metric that we should measure because it's not the business that we do, but we help with that by having some analytics powered by AI. And actually in the search of the dashboard, you can use AI-powered search. So you can ask the engine, show me applicants close to whatever, Fremont or any location. And yeah, we help a lot with enhancing with quality. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have a few minutes for our lightning round of impromptu 1-minute pitches. No slides, no questions, no feedback. Who would like to go?
Excuse me. I have a 2-minute pitch that.
We're doing the lightning round. All right, she's gone. Pause.
바로 문제를 친구요. My name is Melina Sao. I represent Creative 3D Technologies. We're an Austin-based 3D manufacturing company, though we legally cannot be called 3D manufacturing anymore because the DoD told us not to. We produce single-cell units, and our aim is to get rid of the supply chain altogether and bring it to you like a factory in a box. Our units can do anything from making building materials to self-healing drones to potentially. Well, I mean, we work with people like Disney and the U.S. Army. We're 3 million underfunded. So if we could raise just a little bit, all we really need is like 10%. So thank you guys for allowing me to pitch. Thank you.
All right, Hale, I would like to ask your permission. This gentleman here wants to do a 2-minute pitch with his executive summary.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah.
All right, this time, let's
Thank you. Thank you.
applause.
Sorry about that.
Hello, I'm Mark Roos with Sustainable Energy Inc. California's Air Resources Board says all medium and heavy trucks that operate in California must switch to zero emission by 2045, and drayage trucks that serve ports must switch by 2030. Today, new 200 to 500 mile battery range battery electric trucks cost $350,000 to $500,000. New Class 8 diesel trucks cost $120,000 to $190,000, but drayage fleets buy used trucks for $20,000 to $70,000. That's only half the battle. Fleet owners and Port of Oakland focus group told me PG&E linemen working at the port say it will take 18 months to 7 years to upgrade their electricity service enough to charge their fleets if they switch to battery electric. The solution? Capture the sun's energy to make the electricity to run their trucks and convert their existing trucks from diesel to full battery electric. We'll make fired ceramic solar PV panels at twice the conversion efficiency of today's commercial solar PV for buildings and canopies over parking and driveways to make enough electricity to power the fleets. Later, we will make fired ceramic saline, boron, and sulfur-based solid-state non-lithium batteries holding 3 to 5 times the energy per pound of lithium batteries and costing far less per kilowatt hour. Our batteries will power the trucks and store the electricity, solar electricity, to charge them. Conversions will dramatically cut costs for energy, maintenance, and truck replacement and wear and tear on the drivers. We expect to qualify for a $45 per kilowatt hour Inflation Reduction Act rebate on our batteries, making their effective price as low as $15 per kilowatt hour, a fraction of today's pricing. We should also qualify for 30% IRA tax credit on our solar systems. We will be seeking pre-seed funding to move from garage to lab with team, file patents, and get independent validation testing for factory funding.
Thank you.
Could do it just tiny.
Steve, do you have the Vimo person? Do you have any question?
Is it a matter but believing if it's possible? I could tell you a little bit about that.
Well, you've got 3 companies rolled into one, and each one of those companies, there's probably 200 or 300 startups out there
batteries. Many had raised billions, have to be part of a couple of those. Vast majority, 90+% of them won't go bankrupt. I mean, lithium ion batteries have been around a long time. There have been at least 100 different attempts to replace them. Amprius, QuantumScape, the list is long.
Can I go ahead and jump in?
But none of them have worked. Now, why are we going to believe that yours will work with these materials you're listing?
Please let me answer. Okay. So, because for starters, in 1983, William Todorov got a patent for a fast semiconductor, faster than gallium arsenide, which NREL said was a 22.5% efficient solar thin film at the time, and violet cells were being bought by NASA for $100 a watt, and commercial solar was 9 to 11 watts. 9 to 11% efficient. He also, basically, let's just skip to that part. Batteries, he started working in the battery design about 20 years ago, and at one point, the head of batteries at Ornell said, you've reached the theoretical limit for the chemistry you're working with, and I've got $40 million in lab equipment and 60 PhDs, and we'd be challenged to do it. So in other words, I'm working with a person who led the industry in solar and got everything stolen, led the industry in concentrating solar, and has now been, has basically led the industry in a way in batteries. We're about to we think that we're going to have successful proof of concept tests this month. And we also have Wilson, Sonsana, Goodrich, and Rosati as we're on their startup program, and they say if you pass the tests, we'll bring together a bunch of investors for you. And there's a whole bunch of other things, but I probably don't have time to talk about them. But I'd be happy to talk to each of you or any of you and give you some depth.
So what's your next major step? I mean, I'm not clear because there's a lot going on.
At the bottom there, I said, at the end of this month, hopefully, we'll be having a meeting with some investors to get money, a certain amount of money, to move from the garage to the lab with a team, to file patents, probably 4, and to get independent validation testing for factory funding. So those are the key things that we've been told, patents and in-med validation testing, the things that investors have been telling us for 12 years we need to get. Thank you. Also, I have a first customer at the Port of Oakland as well. Okay. Any other questions? We got 30 seconds.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's give it up for all our presenters tonight. Let's move on for our awesome panel.